from tomorrow, we have a speech that is by Bullocks from the Bank of that is it is affecting the Australian dollar. We'll be having a speech at around 11 a.m. Kenyan time. On Tuesday, we don't have anything on our economic calendar. On Wednesday, we have a CPI for the Audi. That is during the morning session at 3:30 a.m. Kenyan time. Later on during the New York session at 4:45 p.m. Kenyan time, we're gonna be having uh, the overnight rate. We'll also be having the Bank of Canada monetary policy report. And then later on at 5:30, we're gonna be having also Bank of Canada press conference. Then eventually we're gonna close our day at 9 p.m. As we have federal fund rates together with the FOMC press conference. So it's gonna give us clarity in terms of where we are heading to in the economy of the US. So based on how the data came out recently for the CPI, we expect we expect I'm looking forward to see rates being cut as well. We're gonna see that on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we have JPY policy rates. We also have the advanced GDP for the dollar, but it's written tentative. When it is written tentative on our economic calendar, it basically means there's a possibility of it being there or not there. Sometimes it could even be postponed. So it's not yet certain on the same. So that's what we have on Thursday. And then 4:15 p.m. we're going to have a refinancing rate for the euro. Then we wrap up our week with manufacturing PMI. We're going to be having GDP for Canadian dollar, and then employment cost index, as well as the core PCE price index for the dollar, though also it is tentative. So that means it could either be there or not there. So that's how our economic calendar looks like for this week. So when you head to the technical, when you check on the technical perspective, when you check on the technical perspective, we're going to check on the dollar. Henry is here. He will also be talking about the what do you call it? We'll be talking about the yen, the JPY pairs. So allow me to start by looking at the dollar index. So we'll just do check on the monthly. I think from the previous week, we have clarity. All right. From the previous week, we have clarity of what is happening. We have these key levels that we're looking forward to see price reacting at. We have this particular zone. From the previous price action, we had this doji. So this is an indication that we are looking forward to see the dollar pushing a little bit more inside these levels, maybe before we look at selling further. So I'm looking forward to see price reacting on these zones. These are my next levels of interest for long-term reactions. So if you narrow down to the daily time frame, are you guys able to see my screen? Naona inakaa. Ebu you guys confirm kama mnani tuko pamoja, kwa sababu I'm seeing from my end it's like it's hanging. Okay. So tukiangalia kwenye kuna hii key level ya hapa ambao tuna week overlap, tuko na open close, which is a very strong key area. If you go to the lower time frame, you'll see some structures there. So on the daily time frame, so that we can get information on what is happening in terms of price action, we can clearly see that we have this bullish structure. Price has been creating higher highs and higher lows. heading to this daily area of liquidity. So last week I remember probably on if I think it was it on Friday or on Thursday or Wednesday, either there, but probably we had this reaction here. This was the effect of no, it was on Friday when we were checking when we were having our session early in the morning. I mentioned something to do with this key level, and we could see price reacting on that zone. So we still have untested areas, or other areas that liquidity has not been consumed. So that means before Wednesday, we could probably see price coming back to these levels before we push up. But as the market opens, that is a few hours from now, probably 4 hours, 30 minutes from now, we're going to observe this region. If price breaks this region, then we're gonna push above the 99 levels. But if it doesn't break this region, then we're gonna go down to the 97 levels, probably even to the 96.8 levels before we continue with the bullish direction. But I want us to also check on the 4 hours time frame and get to see what price is telling us. So looking at the price action on the 4 hours time frame, when this market was coming down, if you understand the aspect of shifts and formations or other liquidity zones, clearly we had some sort of shifting around this level, and we had inside, we have this structure, this area, we have this structure at this level, and we also have this one, which is more of like a type 1. So when this market reacted during the CPI, you could see price coming to this particular zone. This week came here to consume this level. So probably then later on the market wicked to the upside. So at this particular area, it was an area of liquidity. So two things that I'm expecting to happen. So depending on how price opens, of course, this is an area of liquidity that is left this week, long week. So we have to see price coming here to consume this area maybe before we continue pushing up. Or if the momentum will be enough, we're gonna come back to chini ndio tuweze kuendelea kubuy. So having said that, this is a clear indication that we are still bullish long term. We are still bullish long term uh, on dollar before we continue with our bearish trend. But when you're checking on the daily time frame, the 4 hours time frame, our zones that we are targeting are these ones. So this is the most immediate zone that tuna target, na hii zone ya hapa, hii ndio tuna target kuona price ikivunja, na wakati price itavunja hii, just know that this is going to be used, the whole of this region, it's going to be used as an area of liquidity for more push. Because if you see price maybe doing something like this, so it'll use the whole of this zone as an area of liquidity probably before we continue pushing up. So that's what I have on dollar, the dollar index. But tomorrow being a Monday, we're gonna have a session as well in the morning to just get updates. So this coming week, I want you guys to be very active and attentive. I'll be doing a session on trade management. I'll talk about journaling. I'll also go deeper into risk management. I'll teach all the principles of risk management. I will also be talking about the aspect of directional bias. Please make sure you attend all those sessions. So I'll subdivide all those topics across all the sessions that we'll be having this week, and all of them will be online. So that's it. That is it on the dollar. So looking at okay, maybe before I go further, we need to check the 1 hour time frame and see any hidden area of liquidity that we have not looked at. So perfect. We still have more reasons to come down. Here we have this area. We have this area of liquidity. So we could see price coming down. So, and we also have this long wick rejection. So if you go to a time frame like 3 minutes, we still have that wick. So, and this crazy momentum price came back retraced. I'm looking forward to see dollar selling before we anything happens. So we'll be coming to these levels. So that's what I have on the dollar index. That's what I have on the dollar index. Before we continue with the bullish move. So that's what I have from uh, my end. So let's look at a few dollar pairs. I want us to look at a few dollar pairs. But since we have, I think Henry is here, Kim is also around. Henry, are you in position? But I think Kim can talk about whatever he has on his watch list, and then I'll give you a chance. So Kim, sijui kama uko set. So you can go ahead and share maybe whatever you have on your watch list, and then after that, Henry will also talk about what you have on your watch list. Then I'll talk about also these other pairs. Also give my view. Yes.
And last week we saw the dollar gaining, but the momentum of gaining is still not convincing that we are buying yet. So anticipating as we open the week for us to get some nice pullbacks to that zone, and then we continue buying up to that zone up there. Still have imbalances to be filled on top there. I don't know if Basetti has touched on the fundamental zone or analysis. This week we have some major interest rates data. Basetti, umeguzia hizo?
I've just touched on, I didn't really go deeper because in the course of the week we'll be talking about them.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to highlight that we have some fundamental release of interest rates on USD, on the card, and on JPY. So I think it will be a busy week fundamentally. So automatically, these moves will be broken either to the upside or the downside as the week unfolds. But technically, at the moment, we're expecting a weaker dollar as we open the week. Maybe eventually the dollar might buy higher by Wednesday, but technically, as we open the week, we're expecting a weaker dollar. On the JPY basket, subsequently, the Japanese yen is still very weak. Uh, as it we have still been analyzing for the past 2 3 weeks. Uh, the Japanese yen is on a downtrend, as you can see, still not filled this gap here or imbalance or FBG, depending on how you call it. But we can see that the Japanese yen is coming to a previous, can call it a support zone here. So we'll be eager to see how price react from that zone. But the general view of the JPY is bearish, as you can see. Now on the pairs, on the JPY, USD JPY, I think USD JPY has been bullish all along. I think Basoti managed to catch this buy here, I think down here, but no setup yet for me on this one, because I think this one was a clear push to the upside, then we have a retracement, then we have a push to the upside. So if the Japanese yen continue to be weak, anticipate this price to continue buying to that point. So maybe as the week unfolds, if we get nice pullbacks in this zone, in these zones here, in this zone here, And maybe I think this zone here, I had marked it here. We use another tool in this zone here. If we get a formation there, we can still look for buys to the upside, because I can see the clear trend on the USD JPY is bullish. So we'll be looking for buys on USD JPY as the week unfolds. Now on GU, I think GU we had the same setup with Baswiti. I think we posted it on Friday. Friday or yes, I think it was on Friday. We have a type of 5 liquidity here to be mitigated, and we look for buys up to that, maybe up to zone there. So as we open the week, we'll be interested to see how this setup plays out on GU. But in the long instant, or in the long spectra, we are selling the GU, the pound against the dollar. So the better setup, if you've gotten the sell, you could have even held it for a swing position. But tomorrow or Tuesday, as we open the markets open, we'll be looking for buys in terms of liquidity. Lastly, GJ. Think on GJ, still think it did the same. You look at it on the higher time frame angle, have a clear BOS to the upside, price just pull back to this zone, and then we are buys were imminent from this 17th October going upward. So still on liquidity, in terms of liquidity, we have a nice type 1 liquidity here that I usually trade on GJ. So for me, I'll just be looking for 2% on GJ when price reaches that not demand support zone or supply area. Be looking for a nice 2% around there. Then I'll be steady to see how price will behave going forward after maybe the setup, because as you can see, the Japanese yen is not the best one to trade at the moment because it is very weak. So, but in terms of liquidity, we can get some nice sales around that zone. So I think basically I'm having those setups. Over to you, Henry.
Henry, if you have anything on your watch list.
Oh yeah, let me share my screen. JPY basket. Yes, can everybody see my screen on his or their end? So in JPY, I'm also having the same sentiments, but I'll still be looking for some good for sales, some extra sales. As you can see, on monthly time frame, we got this push we are still having, and we have this zone. So we go to a daily time frame. On our daily, that zone, at first we had this area of liquidity, a week overlap here, which market reacted first and took that annually rehabbed. And from here, as you can remember, I had told you that the JPO basket was gonna only go to lower time frame. Let me go to 4 hours. On Wednesday, I posted this that market JPO is going to sell, and sure it did, but not at the zones because I was in a hurry and I didn't confirm the liquidation flow. First of all, ndo maana it didn't react on the upside. Screen yangu iko nini? Let me do this. Uh, it didn't react huku juu kabisa, but it came reacted on these gaps, then ikaanguka. So first of all, this position on my end, this position is not going to hold because I'll be looking for more sales because I'll be looking for more sales. Juu kuja hapa nyuma, let's go to the daily. When you go to the daily, there's a formation hapo chini. So that's the next area of liquidity that I'll be targeting. And also in that area of liquidity, this is a monthly area of liquidity. Tukiingia kwa monthly, these two blue lines represent the monthly area of liquidity. So I'll be expecting to see a reaction from that. On my next target will be this zone. and also down here, because this will be the area of liquidity. So as we're going to be selling JPY, as we're going to be buying JPY pairs, know that it will be maybe on a shift point. We are near a shift point to massive sales on the JPY quotes, because tukifika hapo, then the market confirm to us a shift. Remember, we will be going buying long term, because if you can't see on the monthly time frame, that's the zone, the place where the area of liquidity and inakujia ndo hii hapa. So if anything, market gives us a confirmation down here, tunaanza kununua, and trust to me, will be breaking this zone in the long run. I don't know, maybe next year by the end of next. So these are area of where we'll be looking for. I'll be more focused from this zone. Will be going up. That's on my monthly perspective. So right now, let's go to 4 hours and check what can we expect. Because right now, as we know, let me just delete this. We had a shift down here, confirming as sales, and also there's a reaction that's here. So, and also there's also a type down here. I'll be expecting a reaction. I'll be expecting a short-term reaction from these zones. Alafu, after this shift, there was a internal structure here that was not mitigated, and also there are a lot of weeks. So tukienda kwa lower time frame ndo tutaangalia, because ile nini, there's this place, this one, where there's like likelihood where market will be looking for more sales from those zones, ama tutaingia this deeper structure hapa juu. So when you go to JPY pairs, Euro JPY, nimekaa bila kuangalia these pairs. Oh, guys, you remember this trade nisema nini? Ilikuja later on, ilikuja ikatapiwa hapa, and yenye nilimiss, nilitape, I had seen this but haikutap, but it was tapped later na ikachukua some few pips. Nimekaa bila nini. So on this pair, if we go to the daily time frame, damn, so hard. Monthly, tuangalie what's happening. So even tuko kwa high, the most recent high, tukiangalia on the monthly time frame, hakuna prices never in the history come. It's never reached 177.763 where it is right now. So I'll be looking for some more buys if we go to the daily. But first, before we continue going upside, there's some areas where market will be shifting first lower, ndo tuendelee, ndo tuvunje this zone, because this is the highest zone. That's the highest zone. So I'll be much interested in what is going to be happening, because I'll be expecting some retracement on the JPY, on the Euro JPY, first of all, before we continue to buy. And this move, we remember from this point, that low created this high. So, making a shift here, leaving us with this, where price came touched in, but tukiangalia hatujamaliza the liquidation hapa ndani, bado hatujamaliza. So I'd be looking forward for some sales up to this zone, ndo tuvunje, ndo we continue going upside. But for now I don't have any clear ni juu umeona tumekuwa na a very clean bullish momentum of which hiyo yote, if market come reverses hiyo yote, remember hiyo yote itachukuliwa, hiyo yote will be taken out, then we'll be looking down for some, we'll be looking for some sales. But let's first see a reaction. If anything will be happening, I'll just update it. I'll update when and where when you see as reaction. So on JPY also, but on EJ structure yake umeona venye inakaa like it's not giving a clear sentiment as on GJ, so I rather go with GJ. On GJ also I would focus on these zones hapa chini, then I'll be expecting some massive buys, and you could, and venye uliona the buys were confirmed zilikuwa. I'll be looking for more buys, but this one now gives us a good price action because ukiangalia there was a shift around here and also left us with this. Let me delete this. Left us with this area of liquidity. Left us with this area of liquidation where this low created this high, and then we'll be expecting some more sales, some more buys from this zone. Kuna week overlap iko hapa, so if we go 30 minutes lower time frame and see what was happening, can see bado ni week overlap. So ukienda huko down, ukienda huko chini, you'll figure out, you'll notice what was happening because hapa kuna structure ili happen if you go the 5 minutes. And also there's this zone, so I'll be much, let's see kwanza kama it's a confirmation yenye tunaweza ingia if you can go for these cells. Kulikuwa na shift imefanyika, this low created this high, of which this low created this high and will lead to this structure shift upper, and this price has traded below this zone. Price has traded below this zone, making it a shift. So we'll be waiting these, because hapa juu kuna there is some imbalances that has happened. I'll be expecting market to come back in, feel this imbalance. Iko wapi bana, nafanya nini tena? I'll be expecting the market to come to this candlestick. Nafanya analysis kwa lower time frame na muniambi. Jamani. Yeah, the shift happened, doi. So this is a confirmation that we might be selling down to this area of liquidation because there was a shift that happened upper. Price really closed below this zone. So to me, that's a shift because this low created this high, and also this high has been liquidated. I'll be looking for some more sales from around this zone. So tukienda kwa hiyo 30 minutes, tukienda kwa hiyo 30 minutes, kwa hiyo shift yenye ilifanyika, price yenye il create that shift, the low, this is just a pullback, ndo tuendelee. Remember price moves is a slave of liquidity. So if you understand liquidation, which most of us, that's the strategy we are using, I'll be more focused on kuna this zone validation, the price where it validated this, and I'll be looking forward to see what happened in hapa ndani. This is the zone when I'll be looking for some more sales because hii yote ukiangalia inaunda kitu kama trend line, of which I'll be looking for some sales from huku start after the exact position, but I'll update I'll update on that also tomorrow when the market has opened, and we'll be seeing the price. Uh-huh. Kuna hiyo, yeah. So actually inaweza panda hadi hapa juu. Let's go to 15 minutes tuone. Yeah, plus iko karibu na hiyo week overlap 15.5. We'll see how tomorrow the market operates tomorrow, and I'll update. So nini gari ingine JPY? How is JPY behaving during USD JPY? USD JPY. USD JPY on the daily time frame kuna shift imefanyika, na also kuna this one. There's a hapa which may retest to that zone, now also having massive buys. So I'll be, and the massive buys, kuna imbalance iko hapa chini, and also tukiangalia from this other side where it is price reacted on the week overlap, and also kuna this zone hapa juu. So this is the zone that will be taken next to see for further sales hapa juu, because hapa hivi kuna imbalance, and also there's a type, is it type 1 hapa juu? Sijui kama mnaona nini yangu, nimeshindwa ku maximize. Hapa juu kuna type of liquidity, so I'll be looking for some more buys to push hadi hapo ndo nitafute for further sales. But before that zone, let's go to the 1 hour and check what has happened. Kuna imbalance niko hapa chini, of which during the CPI yenye ilifanyika on Friday. Before we continue pushing upside to break this zone, I'll see first of all reaction imefanyika kwa hii week, because this week must be feel at least 50%. So I'll be interested in taking the buys after hii market imesell kidogo, ndo sasa buy. I'll also post everything and how the week will be during the week, and also pale hivyo kwa Discord page yangu. I know sometimes sipostingi sana because I'm a bit tied up, but I'll do my best this week. I'll do my best to give setups, and also stay tuned. Hesbon, mimi yangu nimemaliza. I don't have any other pair yenye naweza angalia juu naangalia both pairs.
All right. That's nice. Are you guys on the chat section? Let me know if you guys are following before I talk about gold and also give my view on the same. Let me see on the chat section if you are here. All right. So I'll go back to JPY basket and just highlight something simple on the aspect of long term, like the long term perspective. If you look at what we have on the screen, sorry, if you look at what we have on the screen, this is monthly time frame. This is monthly time frame, and when you look at the monthly time frame, simple price action. We've been on a bearish trend, and before we had this recent price action of these several months selling, this particular level, we have had price touching here a couple of times. Now that tells me this zone is become weak. So there's a high chance you're coming to break this level and maybe go for the next area of liquidity that is slightly above this zone. The whole of this structure, is an area of liquidity, right? The whole of this structure is an area of liquidity. But inside this validation and invalidation point, we have a type of liquidity which is type 5, this one here, right? Now, just to make it clear and simple so that we don't have a lot of confusion in terms of direction, number one, down here, we have an area of liquidity. But if you come to this time frame, we had price doing this was the last high we had that caused a low, that broke this low. So then when this market came, we can see a reaction of pure, we can see a reaction of what you call pure bullish. That's why the market reacted on this particular price level, and we saw this happening, and probably this was an effect of fundamentals. So as far as I'm concerned, I need to see the market coming lower. But before we go lower, the aspect of liquidation, the market doesn't move in a straight line. We need to see price consuming the immediate areas of liquidity before we go on with the direction. So check on the 4 hours time frame. This is the high, the extreme high that caused this low. Let me make it clear. This is the extreme high. This is the extreme high that caused this low, right? In between, we have also structures. So we have this area. We also have this area. And this is the last area that caused this. So here we have a shift, right? Here we have a shift and we have an inside formation. And I remember I marked this last week, probably on Friday or Wednesday. I'm not sure when I marked this. And when I was marking, price was at around this level. I expected the market to come down here before we think of buying. And maybe we go down. Sijui kama tumeelewana hapa. Here we have a type. It's also a key zone. Price broke this resistance, went up, came, took out. So this becomes liquidity engineering on a higher time frame. So I'm looking forward to see the market coming here before we sell. So if you look at the JPY pairs, we're expecting to have okay, I'll show you the whatever Kim and Henry were talking about. I'm gonna show you that, but I'm looking forward to see these immediate reactions on these specific time frames. I'm looking forward to see those reactions on those specific time frames. Price has to come probably here before we continue with the lower time frame reactions. Sorry, my screen is hanging, so expect kuona reaction kama hiyo probably kabla market haijaenda consume these extreme kabla market ijakuja consume these extreme zones. Understand? Tuko na hiyo structure hapo, tuko na hii na tuko na kule chini, so we need to see such probably before the market continues with the bearish direction. But remember, anything can always happen. Anything can always happen when it comes to the market. Sorry, I was saying this. So I need to see this immediate reaction on the lower time frame, maybe before we continue with the bearish direction. Then later on, if I go back to the monthly time frame, I'll be looking forward to see probably this price doing what. The market has to come for the areas of liquidity that is. We remember we have like 5 days before this month candlestick closes. So and then now from here we'll be looking forward to probably come and break this on and go for that area of liquidity. Maybe come retest this on, then we continue with it. That is in terms of the directional liquidation process, what I'm seeing from my end. So we have these prices currently doing whatever. So monthly, if you go to the daily, we need to see price coming back to this week overlap where we have a key level. And then now if you want to sell, we'll continue selling. I think that is clear. So let me talk about gold because I think time has really gone. Don't miss tomorrow's sessions on Discord. We're gonna get deeper into specific setups. The essence of these particular sessions is just to help us, have an idea of what you are exactly doing. The essence of these sessions is to help us to have an idea of what exactly we are doing. So, um, gold last week, for the purpose of learning, let me delete everything. I like it when I'm doing everything from scratch. So let's start with the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, the current price action that we have, the market, the whole of last week, Monday, Tuesday, price sold from Monday evening, sold all the way to Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, Thursday, we could see some kind of ranging, and then price eventually pushed almost 700 pips again after the CPI. So we had this key level, and this key level is an open close. This is an open close key level. I'm talking about the candle open and close, and price has tested this region. And if you check on the extreme end, so this is where now you need to be very keen. We can see a slight reaction above that, and then if you go to time frame like 4 hours, if you go to a time frame like 4 hours, we could see this happening. Then price came and took out this low, and here we are. So it's like we are on a ranging scenario. So we are on a ranging scenario. The market has been ranging between from I think Wednesday, if I'm not wrong. Hold on just a moment. I want to check on something. I want to have something. Yeah, it's on Wednesday. So from Wednesday we've been ranging. The price has been ranging on this region. That's gold, and we have a slight key level up here. We have a slight key level up there. So price has been ranging on this zone. Although as much as it has been ranging, this is gold. It moves a lot of pips. So if you measure even the distance from here all the way to here, that's like 1,560 pips. So either way, as much as it's ranging, if you go to the lower time frame and you do proper coordination, you won't miss some nice opportunities to take trades, right? So with these, I'm looking forward to see, since price has tapped on the weekly time frame and it has touched on the key level. The monthly time frame you have strongly bullish, and the most immediate key level on the monthly time frame. Now that you're remaining with like 5 days, starting from tomorrow, we close this month. So I need to use the daily time frame to see how we're gonna drop all the way to this zone. This is the next key level on the monthly. So if I use the daily time frame, this is an area of liquidity, this is an area of liquidity. If you use the line graph, you'll see it clearly. So we have this validation, invalidation. We also have this substructure upper chit. So we need to, if we have to sell lower, by the way, my next zone of stronger buys, people have got different opinions. I'm looking at 38.86 all the way to 38.82. That's a zone that I'm looking forward to see more massive buys. Because clearly, if you check the price action, um, this range, this range, this range, price came and cleared all these key levels. We have this one, we have this one, and now we have this on a weekly time frame. So if I move to 4 hours, if I move to the 4 hours time frame, this is the zone that cost. Let me just highlight. This is the zone that cost. This is an area of liquidity that cost this recent high that also caused this high. Now the market has come to tap here. But if you use the 30 minutes time frame, I'm going to go to the lower time frame and see what is happening here and see the potential reaction that could give us the next directional buyers. But I'm seeing this is my best zone that I'll maybe get more buys to go up. As much as price has dropped more than 3,000 pips the whole of last week, but I'm still seeing looking for gold might come lower before we push. We have seen a lot of reactions on this zone. So if you want to take a nice trade, either wait for price to break 41.74 or 40 around 40.18, or rather the 4,000 level in terms of the candlestick on the 4 hours, and then now you can pick a direction. But if you do things random kimalamandazi, you're going to see shege. You will see a lot of dust. This is gold. Remember that. So if I go to the time frame like 30 minutes, just on this particular zone around this level, I don't know if my cursor is moving on your hand, guys. Just on the lower time frame, just to show you what is happening. So if I use 1 hour 30 minutes, this is the price action that we have. This is the price action that we have. So I'll remove this range. Tuko na hiyo key level na tuko na hii immediate key level hapa, na huku chini kwenye tulikuwa na weekly key level, we have that. So from this high, price created this low. From this high, price created this particular low that we can clearly see. Then, after price creating that low, we could see the market creating its own liquidation, and price broke this last. I wouldn't really say this. It's an internal high. This one here, because if I look at this, there's. Oh, do we have a body candlestick closure? Let me see. I need to have this clear. Price tapped on the tip. Yeah, we have a body. Okay, okay, that makes it okay. Then we had a shift. We had a shift on this area. It's more of like liquidity engineering. And then after that shift, price came tapped on the pure bullish from the shift, created an outside formation, which is on this level. That is on 1 hour. Then went up, came back inside to consume, came back to tap on this type. It's more of what type? That is type 5, but never came out inside, like never really consumed 100%, and then went okay, this high came back, then another structure, price came to consume this flip level and then went near the 1 hour key level, the 1 hour key level. Then later on, we see the market creating structures coming down as well. Then price came to, there's this key level here. We have that key level. We have those key levels. Price ilikuja kwa hiyo key level, kisha wakati wa CPI, I felt so, I'll be very honest with you guys, I felt so bad about the CPI trade on gold because I was late. I missed this trade. Let me show you. If you go to 5 minutes, it was very evident and clear. Ina ilikuwa very clean setup. But I missed this trade. I was in a place that I could not be able to execute. You see this zone? If you look at this price action, this is something that is very clear. Very, very clear. Ukiangalia 5 minutes to news, we had these, what do you call it? We had this reaction along this level. Let me check the color. We had that reaction along that level. We had some sort of rejection here. And then after this rejection, Price had broken this. This was a few before that Friday before news. So it was evident that we are going hata Euro USD zote zilikuwa zinaonyesha. It was evident that we are going to push higher because even the dollar had given us clarity that we were going to sell. There's a zone that we had marked. I think wale ambao walikuwa na mimi hiyo session Friday asubuhi, we had this zone. I think I had highlighted it on, it was on capital something, capital.com. Yeah. So kulikuwa na hizo ni ya yellow, tulikuwa tunajua dola itamwagika. We were looking because we had CPI price was just building up liquidity, then it's gonna move massively. Now, so when I saw these, by the time, especially some brokers wakati time imeshafika hata ukijaribu kuexecute na kwambianga reject. I was to take a very crazy risk, but unfortunately this one left me, but that's part of what happens in our market. And then with this, if you are to take this trade, your first target was supposed to be exactly here on this formation. We had impure liquidity here. This is where your first target was supposed to be. There's some things, guys, that are very clean. Once you understand them, you can easily take trades. And those guys that I'll be trading with this coming week, I'll teach you how to, as much as we do the long-term trading, like as investment, I'll teach you how to flip your accounts using gold on some specifics. And that's what I'll be doing. But I'll also talk about the aspect of leverage and other things. There's an account I was trading with $1. I took that account from $1. I took it to 50 up to $100. Alafu nika withdraw pesa nikakula. What is the point of trading $1? You just eat the money. That is just peanuts. Anyway, so gold on 30 minutes price imekuja kwa hiyo based on 1 hour price ilikuja ikareactia kwa hii type 5. We never saw any reaction to the downside, and then the market created these. We had this structure, then boom. So I'm looking forward once the market opens. I'm looking forward immediate reactions before I talk about the long-term perspective. I'm probably looking forward to see this market coming lower, around this zone, and then if we clear these highs, and maybe we when this market will be moving, you also need to see what is price building up. What guides is the liquidation zones, like areas of liquidities. Hizo ndo zitakuguide ama zikupe determination of where are we heading next. So if price comes and clears this, what do you call it? Price comes and clears this key level, which is also a type 5. Then if you go back to 4 hours, we had a weak overlap, which is a key level, which is here. If price clears this, we need to understand what is happening, because haita move tu hivyo, lazima ikuwe inatucreatia areas za liquidity. So ikivunja hizi zones, then that means we'll go even higher, and when we'll be going higher, then that means we will have a consideration of this. Let me go back to H4. We'll have a consideration of these, all of these structures and area of liquidity from here. So tutakuwa tunaangalia price, tuna expect price ingie huku ndani. Tutakuwa na expect price ingie huku ndani. Let us not be very delusional whereby if just gold is buying, you buy, but you buy from where to? You don't just buy. You'll buy. I know if somebody was holding a trade and then this massive, I even said this last week, these massive sales wiped his account. Kila kitu ili wipe kila kitu. It came as unexpected. So when you're trading gold, you need to be very, very cautious. I remember even me personally, there are some sales that I took, think somewhere within this zone, but the market took me out and then it sold. So you need to be very, very keen when it comes to your risk management and all that. So I'm looking forward to see the market probably coming to this zone, but I have to make decisions based on what happens along this zone once price goes up. So that's what then if we come here, if you get confirmations, then we'll be selling. Maybe it might be coming lower before we think of more push to the upside. So that's what I have on this gold. But tomorrow during the London session, we're gonna dive on our Discord server. We're gonna get into deeper discussion so that we can understand what is happening. So the market is opening a few hours from now. So guys, as I wrap it up, maybe if you have a question or if you have a different idea or a critique or an opinion, feel free to share in the chat section. But I want to say this: um, planning is very important when it comes to trading. Planning is very important when it comes to trading, because if you can't really plan and you do things just anyhowly, you're going to have a very big problem. This coming week, this is my major topic that I'll be really diving into. I'll be diving so much into this topic, trading plan. These are the things that really affect us most of the time when it comes to trading. Sometimes the fear of missing out, hesitation, you hesitate to take a trade. Sometimes greed comes, you had a trade, you have an SL, you have a TP. Trade imefika kwa TP yako, hautaki kufunga, you want to make more. Oh yeah, of course I will also mention about that. So kuna mambo ya hesitation, greediness, there's the fear of, forcing trades. You should only trade, guys. I want you to take note of this. You should only trade based on what your strategy or your trading system says. Hatufai kutrade tu hivyo hivyo, yani you're just taking trades without even knowing what you're doing. Because before you execute that buy or that sell, you must have done analysis. You have your risk parameters so that if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. So it's very, very important to take note of that. Things of revenge. For me, when I hit some stop loss, I can't go back there. I'll always just hata opportunity toke aje, so long as nimefika limit yangu ya losses, maybe when it comes to day trading, I'll wait for the next day, because you might find yourself uh, getting, hizi mambo za kutaka ku revenge, and you lose even more. So it's very, very important that you plan everything. So this is what I'll be really talking so much about this week. Tutakuwa ninaongelea hii mambo sana pale kwenye Discord. So make sure you attend all the sessions. I'll be there from Monday. I also do another session on Wednesday. I'll do another session on Thursday, another session on Friday. The only day I want to do a session will be on Tuesday. So there's something I want to share with you guys. The seasons are changing, and there's what we call it. Somebody has mentioned on the chat section. It's called the daylight saving time, or in short form inaitwanga DST. It's like a practice of moving the clocks forward by 1 hour during the warmer months in order to extend evening daylights and save energy. So it's actually it's a correction that normally takes place in the spring and ends in the fall. So utarealize tunakuwa na sessions zetu za London session inakuwa 10 am, New York session inakuanga 3 pm. So this means we're going to have New York session itakuwa inaanza 4 pm. New York session itakuwa inaanza 4 pm. So things are gonna change. Everything will change by a difference of 1 hour. Everything gonna change with a difference of 1 hour. But I'll check and give you the exact opening times. Let me just check kama nitaona, but with that effective, leo ni tarehe 26 watu wenye wako majuu saizi bado ni Monday, masaa ya mchana I think kama inakaribia inakaribia masaa 8 ya mchana. Let me just check the time zones. Let me see the forex time zones. I don't know if I'll be able to the time zones. The time zones. I'll be checking out. Tutaangalia hizo updates alafu tutajua, but there is always a 1 hour difference, either plus or negative, but gonna be the sessions will be opening at New York session itakuwa 4 pm instead of 3 pm Kenyan time. So I think up that point, guys, I don't have much to say. Kile ambacho mimi nitasema as the week starts, As the week starts, yeah, inaanza leo. As the week starts, today let's say week time. Inaanza leo. So, as the week starts, it's very important that we know that planning is very, very crucial. Know what you are risking, know how much you are willing to risk. Just be disciplined. Discipline. The moment you become indisciplined, or rather you lose focus in terms of discipline when it comes to trading, just know that hapo ndio mambo itaanza kuchemuka. So ningewasii kama huwa wanasemaje, I'll really recommend that we be disciplined, and we follow our. Oh, somebody is saying, I think that is Anthony Benzi. Benzi, I saw you are a liquidity trader. Once I started following your method, I saw big changes. Yeah, sure. Liquidity trading is the best approach. I'll say it's the best. It's the best way. Easy to once you understand how to, once you understand how to spot liquidity, things will change. But there are things that needs to take time for you to master them. So you really need to take time to master them. So you guys, I think as far as I'm concerned, this is my last year of teaching people trading. Starting from next year, things will be a bit different. Maybe they will have access to the course, recorded courses, but I'm not going to teach anyone from scratch. Saa hizi sasa wacha watu trade. Wale ambao tumekuwa na wao, we're gonna continue with our mentorship, deeper mentorship for the next 6 months. But for now, I think mimi nimemaliza. My time to do this has come to an end. Maybe I'll think about it mid of next year. So maybe that's what I'll do, kwa sababu sahi tunaweka all our focus and emphasis on trading, and we are working on so many things. We'll share a lot of information together with the Sage. We are having a great plan that is going to help all of us as traders in the community to be on the next level. So I want you guys to be very, very active on Discord. Be very active. Make sure you are there actively daily. Engage with other traders' ideas. Maybe I need to share something. Mm, maybe I need to share something before we come to. I was trying to record this so that I can share on YouTube. So let me stop sharing and then I show you something. Stop sharing.